you should already know what this is. And for those of you that aren't, just chill. See, we're going to get down to the other stuff here in a second. But what I'm always trying to get everybody to understand is everything is vibration. So, before we do anything else, just vibe.
Perfect.
Tina Clara Marie, how you doing? Beats by Let's Zone Out Music. Let's zone out. Shout out to Beats by Let's Zone Out Music. He made this. The moon is now in Taurus. It's time to calm that ass down. So just cool your jets. The sun is in Sagittarius. The moon is in Taurus. I'd like to welcome you to a day of indulgence. Just vibe. Yeah, I know. I love it.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Now we ain't even gonna go there. We ain't even gonna go there. We ain't even gonna go there. Look, y'all. If you haven't smiled yet today, now would be the perfect time to do so. And if you can't find a smile for yourself, please allow me to be the smile on your face. Because at the end of the day, all I am is the smile on your face. All I am is the motherfucking vibe. And the truth of the matter is, when it really boils down to it, I can't be fucked with.
Don't fuck with me, fellas!
The moon is exalted in Taurus for a reason. It's because that's the calmest, safest, most secure place in the whole zodiac. So, take this as an opportunity to calm yourself down. Indulge in the things that you enjoy. Center yourself and find your positivity. We got a full moon coming up in a couple of days. Just vibe. And let me give a shout out to highly underrated clothing company, and freshandfitted.com for the jacket, for the fit. I got some green pants that go with it, that came with the jacket. It's actually fly than the motherfucker. So y'all go check out thefreshandfitted.com. The link is right there pinned in the chat. Go check them out. Alright? Because they will get you fly. Yeah, see? I need to move the mic. That right there, as I showed last time, it says Wild Ones Championship. Yeah, I'm that fly.
Purchase your tracks today.
I have taste. And that's important when the Taurus energy is at play. Taste. With Libra, it's class. With Taurus, it's taste. Yeah. Just like. Watkins Cat House, how you doing? We in this thing. Too deep. And it's hump day. The floor is open for questioning right off the rip. I'm gonna go through the transits, but I'm not gonna do it formally. We're gonna do it Mercury retrograde style. That means I'm gonna be all over the place. I'm gonna touch on the transits as we come through. I might be talking about something, answering the question for one of y'all, and it might remind me of something that's going on currently, and then that'll give me the opportunity to speak on it. So this is definitely a vibe. There's nothing formal going on today. I'm here to answer any questions that anybody has about astrology or numerology or intimacy or infidelity or compatibility or anything else that helps you understand yourself or your relationships or energy better and helps you raise your vibration. All right. So I'm here to help in any way that I can. I'm going to support you. Now, we're going to vibe also. Don't get it twisted. We're going to vibe. Now, I did want to talk to y'all about something real quick. Because when I say everything is vibration, it sounds like a cliche. But the truth is, that is fact. Whether you look at metaphysics now, or you look at the ancient laws of the Hermetics, you can see that everything is vibration. Anything that you're perceiving is just vibrating at a certain frequency so that it appears as such. And you yourself are vibrating at different frequencies at different times. You understand? It's not just the manifestation of the matter that you are, but also your emotional state. See, your heart creates an electrical field that extends out for several feet beyond your body. This is an observable fact that you have a frequency field that is around you. And so when you go into a negative state or a worried or critical state even, your aura in its own right gets heavier. Do you understand? Your energy becomes heavier. You vibrate at a different frequency. Things get denser for you. That's why stress actually wears you out, makes you sick. I've been stressing so much, I'm fucking tired. When it should just be an emotional thing. It should have no physical bearing on you. But that's not how it works because the law of vibration. So it is imperative that you find spiritual techniques to calm yourself down. And spiritual techniques doesn't mean you always have to meditate and do this. Sometimes you just need to play some music. That is a spiritual experience for some people. Sometimes you need to go on a walk. Sometimes you need to go take a trip. Sometimes you just need to talk to somebody. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so when you put yourself in a stressed state, what that actually means, when you say stress, that means denser. When you say you're stressed, that means it's making it harder. It's stressing it. It's not easing it. It's stressing it. So it stresses your energy. It plays you. It makes you sick. It fucks you up. It makes the whole day heavier. And so what I want you to do is find some type of way to get into a positive expression Yeah, things might not be ideal, but that's all right. The experience is still there, and you have to make the most out of that. Use this Taurus moon, use this Sagittarius energy to make the most out of everything. Extract all of the good that you can from every situation. Do you understand? When I say everything is vibration, it's not a cliche. It's not because it's cool. It's because that's what it is. That's why I put the music on to set a certain tone. When it's a Capricorn moon, we be in Zero. We be in Andre 3000, depending on my mood. When it's a Pisces moon, I play all types of stuff, but it's catered specifically to that. That's why today we're not going to do all the words. Today, we're going to experience the jazzy vibe. We're going to calm the fuck down. The moon is in Taurus. The moon is exalted in Taurus because it's the calmest place. You know, it would make sense that the moon would have an awesome expression in Scorpio. You'd say, man, if you just think about it logically, the moon in Scorpio, because it's so intensely emotional, that makes sense. No, that's dangerous. It's deep. It's chaotic. You know, when you think about the depths of Scorpio energy, it's not just about the dangers of the creatures and the secrets that lie in the deep, but it's also the density and the heaviness of the water. Do you understand? It'll crush you, make you implode. We've seen this with whole submarines going down, and they went down a little too deep without the right ramifications, and they got turned into goop. And so I want to do everything I can to make sure we're operating at the right frequency. Okay? I need somebody to smile right motherfucking now before I get mad. I'm going to do whatever I can to help you get your motherfucking mind right. Just vibe. Shout out to everybody in STAR. That's the Society of Tarot and Astrology Readers. Yeah, you know who you are. Let that Taurus moon calm you down. Center yourself. We got a full moon coming up in a couple of days. Just cool out. It look good, don't it? It tastes good too. Close your eyes. Let that vibration take hold. Just chill. See, this is priceless knowledge of self. We are the Vibe Tribe. There are thousands of us all over the world. So we're not thirsty for subscribers. We're not hungry for attention. No. We're here to raise this vibration with knowledge and information. So we're going to talk about astrology and numerology and all types of stuff to help you understand yourself and energy better and thus raise that vibration. So it ain't going to be for everybody. And that means if it ain't for you, swipe up, bitch. This is not a radio station. We don't take requests. No. We spit knowledge. If you have any questions about astrology, or numerology, or energy, or vibration, or intimacy, or insecurity, or infidelity, you in the right place today. Do you understand? If not, stay, you still might learn something. If you come in on some troll shit or some fuck shit, you're just gonna separate yourself from this beautiful vibration that we are establishing, and then you're just gonna get banned immediately. I'm talking about exiled expeditiously. And it has nothing to do with hate. That's just what you're doing. This all has to do with love. And it ain't love and light, because I'll still slap the fuck out of somebody. It's love and darkness, love and depth, love and death, love and shadows. It's the intensity that resides inside each one of us that some of us can keep quelled. So just cool out. Shout out to all my moderators. Shout out to the whole motherfucking tribal council. You know who you are. Ravi Tiwari, yes, I am an astrologer. Matter of fact, I am the astrologer. You fucking with the right one of the best in the whole motherfucking world. So welcome. Welcome. And look, the comments about my appearance, the snide remarks about mine or anybody else's projected sexuality are not necessary. We don't give a fuck about sexuality. We're here about spirituality. That shit is minute. Don't say anything to me here you would never say in real life, and you wouldn't say it in real life, so just keep it positive. You understand? There's no use typing out that negative shit. Enjoy this shit. You can learn something. Now, the knowledge comes naturally. That's automatic. So that means the most important part is the vibe. But the problem is negativity can be addicting. Just fine. Shout out to all the Virgos. I don't smoke woods. I smoke Garcia Vegas. Just fine. Just let it seep in. I understand it. Mercury's retrograde. Your life ain't shit. So you want to see me and take me down a few pegs. I understand that shit can be addicting. Negativity is like that. No, we can uplift each other. I'm here to teach you a little bit about you. There's no need to project. Because negativity is something I will always reject. Because by the time I get done, all I ever get is respect. Just fine. The moon is in Taurus. You need to calm your ass down. You need to enjoy the present moment. Matter of fact, you need to make the most of it. You need to extract every bit of positivity that you can out of everything. Because the world is a fucked up place. But just because the world is a fucked up place don't mean you gotta be a fucked up person. Just because you built like that don't mean you have to build like that. And I'm just gonna keep it real like that because I always been trill like that. Yeah, it's hump day. I came to keep it jumping. It's 10:29 in Narnia. Do you know what your vibe is? Shout out to the Capricorns. We know y'all take it serious. Shout out to the Scorpios. We know y'all want to keep it mysterious. Shout out to the Geminis. You're ridiculous. I have some Gemini friends that say I put the dick in ridiculous. Yeah. Shout out to Temptress the Enchantress. How you doing, Barbara? Anyway, you say, your question is, you're a Virgo 5th house South Node, who is a major introvert, who you love but you don't like people. How do you step more into your North Node in Pisces? Pisces is introverted also. That's not stepping out of the introversion. I think that would be stepping away from what you naturally are. I don't think You know, the thing that we have to understand about the nodal axis is we all get that confused. Sometimes you have to really pay attention to the language being used, because there's a lot of us that we look at the south node or Ketu and we say we got to get away from that. That's something we're getting. Well, no, you can't get away from that. It's something that you naturally are. It's a part of the thing. When you look at the expression of Ketu, and I want you to understand that the expression of Ketu is actually a lot different than the concept of the south node in Western astrology, because Ketu is an energy in and of itself, where the south node is something that is of itself. It's not in of itself, because the south node is something that's fundamentally there. It's natural. It's just a part of your character. It's something that's automatic. It's what you do automatically. And so what you have to do is use those natural gifts that you have, that the south node has bestowed you with, to try to step more into the north node, where you care about people, right? You're a healer, right, Barbara? Well, you get more comfortable around other people because you understand your role as a healer, and you just have to learn how to go more with the flow and try not to control the scenarios of everything, and not get caught up in the particulars. There's a certain nervousness that's also fundamental to you because of the Virgo energy that's there. And so what you just have to do is learn how to calm down and go with the flow. Maybe find some type of way to get your energy into a good vibe, like music or some other way so that you feel more comfortable. But it's all about the appropriate setting when you're dealing with Pisces energy. But sometimes you're not always going to be in an environment that's ideal for you. So what you have to do is learn how to deal with things from the inside out with that. And so ultimately find a place inside of yourself that is calm and cool and collective, and also still able to heal. So definitely that. I hope that answered your question. Now back to the vibe. Shout out to Beats by Bless Zone Now Music.
This is crazy.
Ooh, that bitch has a vibe to it right there. That bitch almost has like an expensive taste to it. Yeah. But I think Virgo and Pisces are both more introverted, so I wouldn't think you would ever be able to step away from that. It's just naturally who you are. So you have to learn how to deal with people in an appropriate setting and put yourself in a place where you're comfortable with inside of yourself. That way you can use your gifts. Don't try to be something you're not. Hey, that bit right there is vibing, Beats. Watkins Cat House said Synastry. You said Capricorn rising and Leo rising. Sun in the 7th house for both people. It's great. It makes it a little interesting because you have the Capricorn and Leo energy, and so both of y'all have leadership qualities, and both of y'all have this thing where y'all like to be in control. But I think that can really work out. Those Sun in the 7th house things really help out when you're in Synastry, because y'all have this thing where y'all bring the best out of each other, and there also might be things about yourself that you show to that person that you might not always be able to show to everybody else because they don't understand it, or they might think otherwise. But when you have those 7th house things going on, that's always going to be great at Synastry. And so the only problem is that old adage, too many chiefs and not enough Indians, like both of y'all being very dominant in y'all's expression, and you being in your own way a little bit more controlling, and him being in his way like demanding. And so it could be awesome, but it is interesting.
Perfect.
Well, here, Barbara, when you say you want to look into the 11th house, when you think about it being in the 11th house, that doesn't mean you have to be extroverted. The 11th house is also Aquarius energy. And when you look at it from that perspective anyway. And so when you look at the 11th house, Aquarius is not necessarily boisterous. That's more Leo. Aquarius, even though it is an air sign and it can be considered more extroverted because of the masculine expression that it's supposed to have. You also would look at it and say Aquarius operates more in the background, and that just means you need to find a group of people that you're specifically comfortable with. You understand? Just you need to find your tribe. And so getting into a group of people who, in that essence, it can be a small, very small circle to where they can put you in the right position, then that could be that. And the 11th house also involves wishes and hopes and humanitarianism. And so you just being a humanitarian and a healer means that you can heal people in so many different ways. That doesn't mean that you need to be an extrovert. And so looking into the 11th house does involve association. But the 11th house doesn't mean you're associating with everybody and that you're on the stage like the 10th house or the 5th house. The 11th house is more supportive, because if you look at the 11th house, it's called a succeedant house. And so the 11th house is more supportive or productive. When you think about the things that come from the 10th house, come to the 11th house, come from the 10th house in a certain way. But you can also look and see that the 11th house also supports the 10th house. Your associations, the people you associate yourself with, class, all those type of things actually influence the social structure that in the place that you have as far as your social status. And so all of that is something that is very consequential as far as them being influential on each other. So yeah. Hey, it's my blessing. It's my pleasure. For those of y'all that do want to contribute, y'all can hit the super sticker, the super thanks, or the super chat. And I don't have my CashApp pin because I have the website that I'm promoting for pinned right there. But yeah. For those of y'all that want to run the CashApp through there, y'all can run it through there. I love you. I'm just here to share my gifts today. We just want to be appreciated, valued. Matter of fact, the moon is in Taurus. We want to be valued. That's even better. How important are final depositors? Kind of important. Like 3 out of 10. So I hope that helps. I need a few more of y'all to hit that like button. Beats by Bless Zone Out Music. You said, what signs are a good match for your big three? Pisces, Rising, Leo, Sun, Cancer, Moon, Virgo. Virgo energy. This is probably the best for you. Virgo or Capricorn. But yeah. Virgo. I hope that helps. If you're saying open your eyes, you need to open your heart. Open your mind. You might learn something when you get past appearances. You worried about the wrong thing if you worried about my eyes. Virgo rising. Virgo rising. Virgo moon be all right for you. But yeah. Whose questions did I miss? I think I missed somebody's question. No, I didn't. Let me fix this. Hold on. Janarian, how you doing? You said Venus in Aquarius transit in the 3rd house. I think there's gonna be your mind changes about something, or just like you become more open-minded, and that allows you to learn some more stuff. It allows you to be more inventive and creative. It allows you to meet more people. It helps your relationships. But just, either changing your mind about something or giving yourself the possibility to change your mind and you know, just having a more open-minded approach to things. I would look, hey Beats, I would look more at your Venus than anything else. All right. And so for those of y'all that don't know, the sun is at 20 degrees of Sagittarius today. And I would just say when we're in this Sagittarius energy, make sure you're not putting yourself in a position to where you're gonna have to redo things or you're gonna have to start over and over and over again. All right. I know it's real easy to just say focus on the big picture and say, you know what, that's good enough. And sometimes it is gonna be good enough. And that turns out great. But other times that's not gonna go. Sometimes it's not good enough. Sometimes optimism is fine, but realism is even better. That's why Capricorn season comes after Sagittarius season, because optimism is great. It's very helpful. But realism sometimes is what's needed. You need to temper that. And so as we're in this right here and we're in Sagittarius season, yes, pump yourself full of optimism and positivity and take everything that you can out of every experience. And understand it is about the experience. It's not about the destination, because that's death for all of us. It's about the journey. It's about the experience. It's about the development of wisdom, the development of understanding. It's about being purposeful. It's not the purpose. It's about being purposeful on your journey. And so as you remember all of these things, this is great, but also understand it's about one step at a time. When you're on a journey, you can only take one step at a time. If you jump too far, you might go over a cliff. You might step into some bullshit. So you still need to pay attention. Pay attention to the small things while you're in here. And so pay attention to what's everything going on. Enjoy the experience and let it all be positive for you. All right. And smile. Smile right motherfucking now, or I'll get mad and go home. I love y'all. Mercury retrograde is almost over, but Mars retrograde is just getting started. So yeah, we just gotta roll with the punches. Just vibe. The sun is trying to Chiron too, just so we know. So there's gonna be some lessons learned. Hey, but you just gotta hold yourself accountable for the part you play in it all. And for the good things too. Sometimes you need to remember that you did that. I know it's great to give the glory to God, and this is Sagittarius season, so I would never disrespect that. But also understand that you played a part. You did it too. You did it, motherfucker. Remember how strong you are. That way, when you face obstacles, you know this ain't nothing. It's small shit to a giant. That's something I learned in my journey. Hey, man, this shit is small shit to a giant. I've been through it all. I found my mama dead when I was 13. I've spent years of my life in the penitentiary. I've lived in the streets. I've changed. I've made something productive. I've built a worldwide business with my bare motherfucking hands, just off an idea. I've helped my children develop into honorable people. And so this is something that I know I can do. So anything that I'm faced with, I can face it. I've had to remind myself this so many times over the last year. Like, bro, you can face anything. What you scared for? What you fucking scared for? And the only thing you scared of is inevitable. You scared of dying. That's the only thing that's gonna happen. So what the fuck are you scared for? You get what I'm saying? It's fucked up. I just didn't want to see it. No Society, how you doing? I got you, Tina. Hold on. Yeah, we vibed out like that. Now, Tina, you said Jupiter in Pisces is the dominant final depositor in your chart. The other is Mars in Scorpio. What does that even mean? Where do I even begin? First of all, how are you figuring you have two? You have, I mean, are they right there with each? There's no way that they're right there with each other. So it's either Jupiter in Pisces is the final depositor or Mars is. It is super complicated, but I mean, this is what I get paid to do. So just which one? Hold on, let me text my lady back real quick. I got you. I mean, when you say that, like, first of all, for people that don't understand the concept of final depositors, the final depositor in a chart is being referred to as a planet that basically all the other planets are kind of like dependent on. You know what I'm saying? Like they all have an opinion or a dependent on it either directly because aspect or another way by rulership, but there's something it's influential to the point in your chart where that final depositor has an influence on everything. Okay, it's a concept that they're going to look at, and there's some people, some astrologers are going to look at this, and they're going to say, okay, this being the final depositor in your chart, that means, in one way or another, that's probably the most dominant placement in your chart, or the most dominant point there in your chart, because it has such an influence and effect on everything else. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I don't place as much significance as everybody else. So when you say Jupiter in Pisces is the dominant final depositor in your chart, and the other one that would follow behind that is Mars in Scorpio, that would say that your Jupiter in Pisces is something that's hitting off just about everything else in your chart. All right. And so Jupiter being that final depositor is basically just saying that your Jupiter placement is influential or affected or superior to all of your other placements because of the dependence that they have on that Jupiter in Pisces of yours. So you would look at your Jupiter in Pisces as being in some places people would look at this as being one of the more dominant placements in your chart because of the significance that it places inside and outside of everything else. Then you say Mars is secondary because it's Mercury and the Sun, so it's domiciled and it ends there. Okay, and so I think Mars being there and your Mars in Scorpio, I think that in the aspects is the Mars in Scorpio. Here my question is, and I would have to look at your chart, and I don't have it right here readily available. My question is the Mars in Scorpio dependent on your Jupiter in Pisces, or aspected or affected by your Jupiter in Pisces in any way? Because that's a possibility. And so if it does that for me, that erases the significance of the Mars in Scorpio being the final depositor for me. Not for all astrologers, but for me. And then it's in the other way, it puts into perspective just how superior that Jupiter is in that placement. But I would have to look at your chart to really know. But what that means is that your Jupiter in Pisces and your Mars in Scorpio are the two more dominant placements in your chart because of the aspects and the effects and the influence that they have by everything else in the chart. And so, or by everything that's dependent on that Jupiter in Pisces or that Mars in Scorpio. And so it's just, it's a bad motherfucker, man. And you would have to say that the final depositor also is going to be one of the only placements that are in its own chart and its own sign. That's important too. That's important too. I forgot to say that just a minute ago. That's why I just thought me I almost Mercury fucked it up with the Mercury retrograde. It's very important that you remember that the final depositor in the chart, it has to be in its own sign of the zodiac. Jupiter is at home in Pisces, Mars in Scorpio. You get what I'm saying? You see how that is a depositor? You see how it's the final depositor? Jupiter in Pisces. Jupiter rules Pisces, or co-rules Pisces for those of y'all that are into more modern rulership. And the same thing with Mars in Scorpio. And so it just shows how powerful those placements are, because look where they're at, and look also how they're conditioned. That's the term that us as astrologers would use, is look at the condition of them. And so you have Jupiter in Pisces, and it's just this placement that's so all encompassing of everything else. But your Mars in Scorpio also has an influence on a lot. And so yeah, it is complex, but it's not complex. It's just like when we get to those things like that, those are not things that I myself get hung up on. And so without me getting hung up on that, and that not being something that I automatically work with or look at when I'm doing my readings, it is gonna take me a minute for me to be like, okay, well, let me explain it to the people, because it's not something that's just automatic for there, because it's not actually a part of my normal practices. But that doesn't mean, as we know, that I don't have an understanding of it. And so, yeah, I hope that helps. Relaxation vibes. Let's get back to the vibes. Which one is this right here?
This is crazy.
No, we ain't going with that. We ain't going with that. No, not that either. We're going with this. That's a Taurus moon vibe for your motherfucking soul. Beats by Bless Zone Out Music. You made this for my soul, bro.
This is crazy.
One more time. Shout out to my brother Beats by Bless Zone Out Music. He's the composer.
Beats by Bless.
This is crazy.
Yes, some charts can have weak final depositors. I don't play, like I said, you can see, and I'm not taking away from anybody, because that's just not something that, as far as the final depositor, I don't place a lot of emphasis on it. But you have some that are going to say that because of it being what it is, that there's a lot of significance that needs to be placed on that. Like Tanya, one of my partners and one of my friends, Tanya would say that final depositors are very important. But she's a Virgo and I'm not. That's some small shit to me. But that doesn't take away from its significance if that's something that you want to focus on. You can have some astrologers that make that their focus. Just vibe. anybody else has any more questions, we're here to answer any questions that you have. We're here to help in any way that we can. Just make sure you're respectful of me and my energy as we're in between here. And just vibe. Now, as far as the moon, as we speak right now, the moon is sitting at 0 degrees of Taurus. And as I was saying a few minutes ago, the first thing to understand is the moon is exalted in Taurus. Why? Because it's calm, it's cool, it's collective, it's stable, it's secure, it's seeking safety. The moon needs that. You want me to feel comfortable, right? It's about comfortability. It's about value, self-worth. You get this point to where it's like, hey, I'm not willing to sacrifice that, so you're not fucking losing anything. And you're also willing to take your time and be patient with yourself, let things accumulate, and that's beautiful. But the calmness is what this really speaks of. The exaltation of the moon being in Taurus really just speaks of the calmness. And so, calm yourself down. Value every motherfucking moment. Make the most of it. Extract maximum positivity from everything. Just cool it. Enjoy it. Get creative.
Perfect.
And just vibe. Now, the moon is doing some things. The moon is square to Pluto, Venus, and Mars as the day progresses. Right now, it's not square to Venus and Mars, but right now, the moon is exactly square to Pluto. So it is hard to keep calm when there's so much going on. But you just got to be patient and make the changes and adjustments that are necessary. And I know it ain't easy, but it is required. It's definitely a requirement. You're going to be forced to do so. To calm down and be patient with the process of change. And there's going to be some intense feelings come up because some things are changing and there's some other stubborn parts of ourselves that are resistant to that. We're comfortable in this expression. Well, this is the way we always are. This is the way things have always been. Nah, motherfucker. You gonna change. Things are gonna change. And today you can feel that change. You can feel the world is changing. You can feel yourself changing. And that's not always comfortable, but it is required. Hit the motherfucking like button if you haven't hit the like button yet. For real, I came in handsome today. Yeah, that's a vibe beats. Yeah.
Saying
There's y'all's favorite.
98.
Hey, the moon is square to Pluto in Aquarius. You might feel yourself feeling strange. You smoke them if you got them. Hey, Beats didn't make this one. I love Beats. He makes some badass beats. He didn't make this one though. Beats didn't make this. He didn't make all of them. He didn't make all of them. He made a lot of them. He made like 100 of them. Most of them, but not this one.
8,
Zane, my cousin Zane 98 made this one. Yeah. Just vibe. And as the day progresses, as we get into this evening, the moon will then square Venus and Mars. It'll form that T-square because Venus and Mars are opposite to each other. We'll talk about that here in a minute because we got this going on today for real. But it's just basically like when the moon forms this T-square with Venus and Mars, it's hard to keep calm because there's so much of your energy that's centered around people's reaction to you. You know, you want validation or absolution, and you're seeking for it from other people when you just need to be authentic, and you're already vilified. But you got to be calm. What's up, DaY? How you doing? You just got to stay calm. Now, Beats made did. Hold on, let's vibe that one more time. Super crazy. Yeah, I'm fucking with that. Does anybody else have any questions? Come with the questions, like right now. I'll be right back. I'm not leaving. I'm just stand up real quick. I'll be right back. Smile right now. I guess it's one of those chill days on the tube. Unless they change the algorithm again, but it'll be all right regardless. Hey, y'all make sure y'all go to thefreshandfitted.com. The link is right there, pinned in the chat. They got some awesome motherfucking leather jackets like this. This actually came as a whole outfit. Well, not this shirt, just a green shirt that I wore last time with this, but this, you know what I'm saying? I came with the matching maroon sequence to it. The green pants come along with it. I got some Master Splinter socks on that are maroon. Yeah. Y'all go check out thefreshandfitted.com, and in particular, highly underrated clothing company, because that's the clothing company that I am partnered with. So y'all can go to the Fresh and Fitted. I've actually been talking to them. I'm in talks to promote with them, but I'm actually here in promotion with highly underrated clothing company. Y'all go check them out. Damn, the throat goat is in the house. It's Taurus moon and we had the throat goat in the house. The throat goat. I mean, is you really goated? Because, you know, you got people that say they the goat, but they really ain't goated. I need to know your methods and your techniques. Motherfucking throat goat is in the motherfucking house. What's up? It ain't my day. What's up? This is something to be celebrated. Here, you would never, oh my bad, that's too loud. Here, you would never be denigrated. Only celebrated. There's not a team on the jacket that I'm wearing. It's just fly. It's for the Wild Ones Championship. There's not a team. It says Black Pike, but it's just a fly jacket. Wild Ones Championship though. I won that myself. Do I need to move this? Wild Ones Championship, bitch. The motherfucking Wild Ones. Oh, damn, the throat go to spit. I don't like nobody spitting on me. I take that as disrespect. So, we appreciate you being here. You might be able to find someone else who's looking for those services. But yeah, I don't want you to spit on me. I want your spit to get on me from in your mouth, but I don't want for someone to spit on me. I take that as don't ever spit on your motherfucking dick. You know what I'm saying? Don't never do that to me. Don't ever spit on this motherfucking dick. Don't ever do that. I'm gonna take that as a sign of extreme disrespect. Don't do that. Have it in your mouth. Keep it in your mouth. It's fine to touch it from there. But if you go through the act of hop-to-ing or spitting, especially loogies, shit, like don't do that. When you, that's called bringing up. That's bringing up a little too much. Ain't nothing wrong with it for you. Hey, that's fine. I don't spit in mouths. I don't want nobody spitting in my mouth, and I don't want you spitting on my private parts. Don't spit on me. You can be in your mouth. I want it to be as sloppy, as toppy as you can get it, but I don't want you spitting on me. Like, no, don't spit. Don't let me see you doing it anyway. It's the optics. I understand the intention, but it's the optics. Sometimes it is the optics. Don't spit on me. That should have pissed me off. Like, just don't spit on me. I want your spit to get on me, but I want it to come from inside of your mouth. Don't spit on me like, don't spit on that like that. I don't want to see the bubbles. I don't want to see that. Like, don't do that. Like, you definitely gonna get it. Like, I know you just did a spit on me. Like, it happens. It happens though. I've been spit on and shit on. Since it's Mercury retrograde, we just gonna be blunt and just say it. I've been spit on and I've been shit on, and I don't like neither one of them. That shit was not good. I've had some crazy experiences, man. That shit was not cool. I used to know a girl named Misty Crumb, but her name should have been Misty Crumb. Yeah, it wasn't good. What's up, Norton? Anthony said, damn, Rod, you kind of want to hear about that. Y'all don't want to get nasty. Like, that's nasty. We trying to keep it high vibration. That's nasty. I hate that. I hate that. But yeah, man, when you play when you play in that way, there is a possibility. And if you're working with someone, there is a possibility of getting muddy, man. Like, the shit was not cool. The shit was fucked up, man. Like once that shit happened, like that girl was not was ever as sexy as she was before that. before before the great shitting, she she was never just like she was never as sexy again. Like no, I never looked at her the same after that. Like you always gotta look like man, like I'm not even gonna play with you like that, Tasha. Guess that's what I get for fucking with a motherfucker named Tasha, right? Help me 100. You said variety is a big topic with a Saturn, Jupiter square, and Mercury retrograde. Yeah, I could definitely see that. There's all types of stuff that's gonna be said. No, look. Since we gotta have a real blunt conversation, I was trying to avoid it, but y'all are baiting me into it. Look, it's not something that happened. And I've done it all time. Like I had an Aries ex that wanted it no lube, straight, just like savage. Like savage. Like she was she was a straight savage. I mean, she was a sexual deviant. Let's just say that. But and we never had that issue as far as that. You know, sometimes you use lube and sometimes you didn't. But she liked it like that sometimes, and it depended on the vibe. And it's not something that happens commonly. See, what I was doing was I was playing in the projects, and I should have been playing like that in the projects. You understand? Like you got to know who you're playing with. And I had me you know what I'm saying? And I want to be disrespectful, but I had me this is why I first got out of prison. And I had me a super heavyweighter named Tasha, right? And Tasha been a hoe since as long as I know. Matter of fact, the first time I ever went to jail in my life, it was because I drop kicked Tasha when I was a freshman in high school. And I've never been abused, but I did drop kick Tasha though. I dropped kicked Tasha, and I ended up going to. That's when I got on probation, and I never got off. But yeah, Tasha had a reputation since we was freshmen in high school for being a headhunter, right? And of course, I was interested, but I didn't want everybody to know I was interested because I was stupid and egotistical, and I was a piece of shit. And so I messed around with Tasha back in the day. I ended up getting in trouble, like I said, for I kicked her. I pushed her with, like I jumped up and I pushed her with my foot, and she fell, and it was happened to be right in front of the whole school, and she fell and hit her glasses, and her glasses broke, and her mom got pissed, and I ended up getting arrested, and I should have because that is assault. But anyway, fast forward. Tasha, throughout the years, still stayed obsessed with me. Like, she was always obsessed with me. She still is. Like, obsessed with me. Like, what the fuck? But she also is a hoe and has a fucking crazy-ass baby's daddy. And, like, she just, like... And he always been her baby's daddy or been her boyfriend since way back in the day. So, but she always been a hoe. She always been very liberal sexually. And so... She always had that crush on me. She always made that known. She always do anything. And so me being the piece of shit that I was at that time, that she was always an option. You get what I'm saying? Because of all of that same shit, she was always an option. And so to make a long story short, I first get out of prison. And we're involved in selling, me and my brother-in-law are involved in selling pills, right? Selling, at that time, hydrocodone or Lortab pills or the Watsons, whatever you want to be. And, you know, I'm just being honest. I don't condone that shit. That shit's trash, but this is what we were doing. So I'm about 2 days out of prison, right? Swole, just been in prison for 6 years. So I'm fresh out of prison. And I'm riding with my brother-in-law, and my brother-in-law, he's like, hey, I gotta go take Tasha some tabs. And I'm like, Tasha? He's like, yeah, you know, big Tasha. And I'm not being fat phobic or anything. This is what literally what she's known as. Like, it's not being disrespectful, and it's horrible that that's what but that's what she accepts. You understand? And he does, and that's how we talked at that time. So I'm just being honest. And so he said, big, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm chubby now. But he said, big Tasha, you know, he's like, big Tasha. I'm like, Tasha sore? He's like, yeah. He's like, damn. And I'm like, all right. And so we go. As soon as she sees me, I try to stay coy. She's like, is that Roderick? Is that Roderick? And I'm like, damn. And so we're using my dad's car, and he's tripping. And I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm being accountable. This is how we were at that time. And my brother-in-law, and he looks at me, and he said, cuz. He said, I need you to take one for the team. And I was like, what you mean? He's like, we need that car. I was like, Tasha's car? He's like, yeah, bro, we got to take this car back. We need to be in that car riding. And I was like, nigga, what you... He's like, bro, you know what I mean. And I was like, all right, I'll be in that car by the night. That's just how we were. And I'm not condoning, like I said, that's trash, but that's exactly what happened. I'm just being honest. And that shit is trash. But he's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, I'll be in that car by the night. And so he's like, all right, we're gonna go meet her at your Aunt Shirley's. So we see her at my Aunt Shirley's, because she lives like a couple houses down. I'm like, I'll get her right now. I just went in, boom, boom, shot my shot. She's like, all right, you can just ride with me, just immediately. And then next thing you know, I'm involved in this fucking thing with Tasha. So I go, me and Tasha go, we take her off, we smash or whatever. And then I end up in the car, but I end up involved with her, which is the stupidest thing ever, is being involved with her. Her baby's dad, or whoever that guy is, he's in prison for beating her up. She's living by herself in the projects. But at that point in time, I'm just fresh out of prison. I'm just doing shit. And so I do that. I complete the mission that I was assigned or whatever. We riding around in the whip or whatever. But dealing with Tasha, like, Tasha is very promiscuous sexually. She fuck anybody or anything. She like, and she's so obsessed with me. Like, after I stopped messing with her, she slept with all of my sisters and all of my friends just because they're my sisters and my friends. Like, she's like she's a trip, but also because that's how she is. Like, I don't know if it's because, you know, spiritually looking at it now, because I was a different person then. I don't know. I believe it's because her father is sexually abusive. And it's made her very promiscuous, and it also because of the issues that she has with her self-image. Her being someone who has sex with a lot of people makes her feel beautiful when she struggles with her own self-image. I can only imagine. I'm not in her psychology, but I would probably think that the way that her dad is, from me knowing her and being involved with her at that point in time, I would think the issues that she has with promiscuity or sexuality is not just because she's a free spirit sexually, which is what she portrays. It's because she has issues, and that makes her feel beautiful, and it makes her feel desired. And as a child, her mom and dad didn't pay much attention to her, and when her dad did pay attention to her, it's because he was probably inappropriate. This is because I know her dad, and I know her dad has been accused of being inappropriate with her children. But yeah, she slept with my sisters. Not only all my friends, but my sisters. She's there. She can get on with anybody. Like, that's what I'm saying is, I could just to be involved with me sexually. If right now, Norton, I could say, hey, Norton, I could say, hey, you want to go over here with Tasha? We could all have a fandango right now. And if you showed up with me, I could easily go in there and say, hey, Tasha, we all trying to get down. What's up? And she'd be down. She'd be down. That's just, and it's horrible. I don't know if she's still like that, but this was 12 years ago. But that's how she was. And so you could just be like, hey, Tasha, she'd be down. Hey, Tasha, I want to film us doing this and this and this and this and this. She'd be down. Hey, Tasha, she'd be down. Like, that's just sexually, she is down. She is down with anything. She has no boundaries. She has no principles in that way. She will do anything sexually with just about anybody. All right. Just about anybody. I've seen this. I'm not talking shit. This is how she is. This is a known fact. It's like that. All right. Just so we know. And so, with all due respect, I hope she's changed, because I know she ended up getting on drugs and losing her children and some other stuff after this happened. But because her baby's dad came home and they got involved in some strange stuff. But anyway, to make a long story short, I was in there with Tasha. We was doing everything and anything. And I mean, it's nasty. Like I said, you never look at her again. And she's a beautiful woman. But before that, it's just like, she had a certain sexiness because of all of that stuff. But then when this happened, it's just like, no, she's just nasty. She's just nasty. Like, so I said, like, you can never look at her the same. It's not because of how she looked physically. It's because, like, she already had this reputation. And before that, it was kind of sexy. Like, dang, she's down for it. Like, this motherfucker is down for everything and anything, right? And then beyond that, once this happened, it's like something happens and you see, like, no, this is just disgusting. You get what I mean? And it's a joke, but it's sad also. And I hope for everything she's changed, because I've changed and I was a different person then. And so I look at it completely different. And I'm not talking shit. Like I said, we're just being honest. Y'all know I'm always open and accountable about my own stuff. And so when you have somebody come in here and be like, I'm the throat goat or this, like, no, Tasha. But anyway, we had this experience. We in there doing anything and everything. I go up in the back door and I'm like, dang. And I'm like, but it's getting super, like, what's the word I want to use? I don't want to say wet, disgusting, like pliable. It's getting super pliable. And so then the smell hit. You just get a whiff, like, and like you if you've been in this, like, she's like, you might get a whiff of ass before and you be like, man, I don't know about this. Like, that's a whiff of ass. But this was not just a whiff of ass. This was like straight off the turd. You just like, like what the fuck? And it immediately ceased being sexy. So and she just like, as soon as that happened, like, it was like right about that same time, like it happened all at once. I can't remember if it was a sequence of events, and all at once she just like pushed me real hard, just like kicked me, kicked me off, like poof, and just like ran to the bathroom. And you turn the light on, and there's just a trail. And after that, I never went back over there again. And I lived there before that. I swear to God, on my life, I left that night. Left that night. I feel so bad, but I did. I left that night. Went and stayed at my best friend's house. She begged me to come back. But I was like, I'm not coming back over there ever again. Like, hell nah. Like, that shit is no longer, the whole point of being there and all that shit is just not there. It's not convenient. It's not cool. It ain't. That old feeling ain't coming back. But yeah, shit was not cool. But I mean, when you're banging it up, I want you to understand that's a possibility. You know, as much as I could be restrictive now, you also have to look back on things spiritually at that time, and you just look at things like, when you're playing around like that, that's always a possibility. When you're a big guy and you're banging that thing up, unless they've taken every precaution possible, it's still possible. And I mean, I almost said some funny shit, but I was just like wrong. I can't just say the wrong stuff. I want to, but I'm also such a different person that I have compassion for that situation now. But and just no telling, like, some people, like, if they haven't eaten for a day or two before that, and they've really cleaned it out and done an enema and all this other shit, like, it's cool. And sometimes in the spontaneous, in the moment, it's cool, as long as you're safe and all that, and all of that shit. But if you're playing like that, just spontaneously, and you just go in, and like, this is a big Tasha. Ain't no telling what she been eating. Like, she was a hell of a cook too. Like, hell nah. Shit was fucked up, man. It was fucked up. Hey, DC, that's the only time that I'll let that because that actually applies to this situation. But yeah, that shit was fucked up. But that's not Misty Crumb. Misty Crumb was a whole different story. But yeah, DC, that actually, I hate when people come and say that did it, because that's just people repeating the same shit they heard everybody else say. But that actually applies to this situation. You actually said that at the right time. Oh, Nick. Maybe you just haven't ever smoked no real good before. You did. Maybe you be on that mid, so your eyes stay wide and buck. Or maybe you on that methamphetamine, so your eyes stay wide. Shut the fuck up. What does my eyes and how wide my eyes are have anything to do with you? Like, I'm not going to get into the whole entertaining the chat today because we just chilling and vibing and we got a beautiful vibe going. But, like, man, just cool out. Why is your self-esteem so low that you had to take the time to type that bullshit? Yeah. You ain't from no Amsterdam. You ain't from no Amsterdam. Stop lying. The P. Diddy is in the house right there from himself. Just vibe. Now, the moon square to Mars, it's like there's a conflict between being dramatic and being calm. And it's going to be hard to keep calm when everything feels exaggerated and your ego is involved in the situation. But you just have to find a way to stay calm. You just have to really protect your peace. With the moon in Taurus, protect your peace. That's what I want you to do. But yeah, I didn't jump Big Tasha. And the only reason I see she's Big Tasha is because there's a little Tasha. And I don't want to say her last name. So we're not going to disrespect her because she's actually quite small, but she's big compared to the other Tasha. She's not a big fat person. And I don't like to say that because I love big, thick women. Don't get it twisted. But that's not what I'm saying. I love BBWs. What I'm saying is she's Big Tasha in relation to Little Tasha because Little Tasha is also a hoe. Most people named Tasha are hoes. And if your name is Tasha, you know you got a little hoe to you. But yeah. No, Mars is in Leo. Mars is at 6 degrees of Leo right now. Just so you know. But Venus and Mars are opposite to each other today. And that's just a very interesting energy in its own right. You have Venus sitting at 5 degrees of Aquarius, opposite Mars retrograde at 6 degrees of Leo. And so this is going to be exact more tomorrow, but today we are definitely approaching to where it's going to be exactly opposite to each other. And so you look at Venus in Aquarius, which is very chill in its own way. And it's concerned with letting people be free and brotherhood, and it's not very selfish. But Mars in Leo is, because your pride is involved. Your ego has been initiated. And so now that your ego has been initiated and your pride is involved, you kind of address things accordingly. And that's in conflict with you being cool and you being friendly and all of this other shit. So there is a conflict there that has to be addressed. But it can still be sexy and great because you learn from this right here. You just need balance. And opposition is not like a square. A square is definitely a conflict. The opposition is more like you need to balance. But what ends up happening instead of balance is projection, because you act one out on yourself and you project the other one onto another person in your life when you see these really aspecting you personally. Now, this is just something that comes out in an effect for the whole world. And so, yeah. Venus is opposite to Mars. This is where we're at. Norton, you said, what about Taurus with the Gemini moon? Oh, that just means you full of shit. You lazy and you full of shit. But I mean, that's probably a possibility. But that means you probably a really cool person. You chill until you ain't chill. But it just depends on the condition to the Gemini moon, because Gemini moons are really the hardest placements to interpret. I have two Gemini moon suns who are completely different from each other. I have a Libra sun, Gemini moon sun who's 14 years old, and he's boisterous and he's funny and he's playful and he's mischievous and he's loud and he's outgoing and he's all of this stuff. But then my Leo sun, Gemini moon sun, is 15 and he's quiet and he's stoic and he doesn't say anything about anything really. He's the quietest person I've ever encountered in my life that doesn't have learning difficulties or on the spectrum, but he's very quiet. He doesn't talk a lot. He's not mad either. He just doesn't talk a lot. And so he's just very poised all of the time. He's very, very poised until he's not. I've seen him get upset lots of times. He's my son. I can make him upset and he'll start crying and start yelling right now. But most of the time he's very cold, calm, collected, and he's just very quiet and extremely stoic. He's very stoic. But as Gemini moons, they're both like opposites. And so when I see a Gemini moon, you see a Taurus sun, you can see somebody who's actually very stoic, but you could also see somebody who's just cool and you have a smoothness to you. You know, when you see that Taurus sun with that Gemini moon, you just might be somebody who's very smooth. It depends on what house those fall in, and then also what condition that they're in the chart. You say, does my Leo sun Gemini moon sun have any prominent Saturn aspects? I need to think. I have to look. Let me look. I don't remember. But it's possible. It's definitely possible, but that's just how he is. But I mean, if he has something, his brother probably has it also. They're just so close in age that they have it. Hey, the most I look like his big toe. You must have a good looking ass toe, bro. Sometimes y'all say some genuinely funny shit, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, what the fuck? And I got a nigga toe, so I understand. I got that thick one. You understand? Like, for those of us that have a nigga toe, you kind of understand what a nigga toe is. If you ain't got a nigga toe, you think that we're being derogatory. But, like, niggas have that one toe that's just the nail is just thicker than the other ones. It's just like it ain't never right. That bitch, you know what I'm saying? You don't know if it's fungus or just like it's just something about that one right there that when you cut that motherfucker, like you might bleed. Like It's just like you got that toe. That's the nail is just that on that one is just about 3 times thicker than the other ones, and that bitch just has a little like a little velociraptor to it. But yeah, we definitely understand. Hey man, welcome to the stream, Demo. Norton, are you still here? Y'all got rid of Norton? Y'all don't be putting Norton out. I like Norton. It's fucked up. He said his life is fucked up. It's fucked up. I can't take the pain. Man, I'm caught top down, leather seats in the rain. It's a shame, but fuck slit my wrist. I'm gonna ride and sip like this. It's fucked up. This life I'm living is fucked up. You say, fucked up like my life been the whole fucking trip. I swing and ride and sip, cause no telling when I'm gonna slip and fall. Y'all done left me every time I need a pickup. They repossess my pickup, nigga gone and roll that stick up. I'm lit up and leaning, bullshit hot and steaming. When I ain't blowed, I'm fiending, and these motherfuckers scheming. It's seeming like relief only lasts long as my buzz. Just post some more tuss, riding blown with my cuz. My sister grown up but won't own up to the level. Like her brother, she a rebel, boxing, scrapping with the devil. Pebbles, the boulders, the bricks of Bombay cheese, but still my assets freeze, except this dank that's in the breeze. Please leave me alone, the wrong blown while I'm sipping. Don't try to stop me while I'm dipping, cause I got the clipping. I'm tripping, I'm slipping into a state of confusion. I'm leaning cause I'm losing. Hydrocodone for my bruises is fucked up. Yeah, this life I'm living is fucked up. It's fucked up. I can't take the pain. Man, I'm caught top down, leather seats in the rain. It's a shame, but fuck slitting my wrist. I'm gonna ride and sip like this. It's fucked up. This life I'm living is fucked up. You see, I lost my mom on 39th Street to hepatitis C. Susan Turner liked the speed, but Roderick T, I like the weed. Rightfully, I moved in with my daddy over mama's dead body. Jesse Lee is a crack fiend and his habit hardly fed Roddy. Dead bodies and empty stomachs, still I jumped in the game. 7 years later, no paper, I'm still bleeding my pen with fame. Nothing changed, no shame, I'm plagued by my wrong decisions. I'm acting on my feelings, several failures, several missions. I've tried to listen to the wine-nosed uncles and friends, Father. But when, Father, do you notice your second son been bothered? It been harder, but then again, without you, my skin's harder. Like Vince Carter, cause in my sister's life, I've been a starter. I've been a part of several big plans. Super Mr. Big Man, but when you successful, 1,000 palms out is quick hands. Shit, man, it's no family for the Roddy to run to. I'm already unglued, but I'm pushing until my heart is done, fool. It's fucked up. I think I'm coming down with a cold or something. Anyway, I look good though, right? Now, let's ride. Thoughts on Cancer, on Venus, I said Cancer. On Venus in the 12th house, 29 degrees of Cancer, Leo rising. Well, what's up, Miss Del Chambliss? How you been doing? I've been missing you. We've been wondering where you been. What's up? Anyway. Thoughts on Venus in the 12th house at 29 degrees of Cancer for a Leo rising. Oh, you be in your feelings. Oh, you take it. You just be in your feelings, and a lot of people don't see it because you probably hide it very well, but you just be in your feelings. Help me 100. And like you get in your feelings about people and you try to hide it, you try to keep it secret because it's the 12th house there. It's just like, man, but those feelings get the best of you, and it's just like, man, you be feeling a motherfucker, and sometimes it's not healthy for you because you know that's something that's not even a realistic possibility for you to pursue, but something in you pursues it, and there's something in you that's willing to, really make sacrifices because you do love so deeply and so hardly. But sometimes it's also like you always remember, like there's something in you that never forgets. So sometimes you're involved with people, or you never let go of somebody from the past. It's like you never let go. You've always had something secretly for them. There's something inside of you that could never, and it's a good quality too, because you never give up on anybody. But it can be really hurtful to you sometimes, because you somebody that you never gave up on and that you still love has moved on with their life completely. Or it's hard for you to just move on because of what you hold on to so much, and you're just like, man, those feelings of yours that you're always trying to hide, it's there. It's definitely there. So yeah. But you have pride that keeps it out of, that pride. You put on a happy face. Yeah. You can still love them, and not in a toxic manner. Absolutely. But you have a fixed and sunny projection of yourself into your environment and to people. And so you put on a happy face most of the time. You smile. You put on a show. Sometimes a front. Sometimes it's genuine, but sometimes it's a front, just because you know how to present yourself really well. And you have good taste when you're dealing with people. You always have. You always will. But there's also something for you that you just don't never let go of. You never give up. And so it is beautiful. Your loyalty is unheralded. But it's also sometimes it's like it's hard to deal with for you. Not for other people, for you. Your love nature is not a bother to anybody else. It just sometimes it really gets the best of you. Nichelle, you just got them secret feelings for me, and you got to calm that shit down. Nichelle, I got a woman. You know what I'm saying? You can't be doing that shit. Like, behave yourself. Get yourself together, for real. Come on, chat. Come on, chat. Almost blushed. You see, I am blushed. Now you see that white side will come out real quick. For real. Like with that laugh. Like that, I tried not to see. I tried to control that that laugh right there. What's up, Faye? DeAndre Duran, what's up, Faye? We ain't gonna play about Faye. Faye is now part of the motherfucking tribal vibe tribe. I just almost said tribal council, but you didn't pay. Vibe tribe. See, Mercury retrograde got me fucking up. Just calm down. Calm the fuck down. This dog is over here snoring, and he's about to piss me off. Yeah, she got me. That's why she got them cameras on me right now, too. One thing I don't like is because them cameras are everywhere. She can see me when my dick is soft. And I know we're just being blunt, but since it's Sagittarius season, we just got to be honest. Like, I don't want nobody to see me like that. That's my most vulnerable point. I'm a Cancer. I can cry, but I don't want you seeing me with with that thing is soft like that, walking around here just like noodles. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah. Even after 15 years, I don't want you to see that. We don't need to be seeing that with each other. If it's dark and you just say, hey, no, that's why even when, I don't know if any of you fellas have ever had that. You ever had a woman wake you up? You woke up and she was sucking on it or something like that. You woke up and you know what I'm saying? They were already riding it or something. And that's cool, but then you have to think like, damn, they must have been either, you have to think about the two scenarios. Now, either what happened is you were either hard in your sleep and they felt it and it turned them on, that happens all the time, whether you know that or not. Or they they got turned on and they soft and they started working it and touching it and got you up and working before you woke up. See, they rape you. They do that. Look, Chiron, but they do it to you, right? They do it to you, and then you wake up, and you know, sometimes you enjoy it. They take advantage of you, but when you wake up, all of a sudden you just realize that like after a minute. For me, I realized because of I don't know my mind like damn she was messing with it when it was soft and it was noodled. Now there was I don't like when they mess with it noodled. Now I did have one incident when I was in a drug-induced stupor years and years ago. I was on dope, and I had this girl who was so dedicated that she just sucked on that limp noodle for 3 hours, like 2 or 3 hours, and it never got hard. I was too high. She never knew that. I never told her because she didn't know I was doing drugs. She had no idea. I just kept saying, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong. Just keep, okay, all right, let's. I had every excuse. My stomach hurts. I kind of have a headache. We had everything going on, but I was so high that shit was not going. That shit was not going to work. But she had this dedication, like she just, and eventually, it just spit. It just came soft. The only time that's ever happened. I'm just, on the side. But yeah, it happens, man. Sorry, y'all. It's hump day. Excuse the vulgarity. But we can only be us, right? She never gave up. Tina, if you would have gave up. Look at all the women attacking Chiron. Chiron said that's right. But they be doing it. It's okay when they do it, but it's a problem. We know that. Women rape men regularly. They do it. I got taken advantage of by this girl named Brittany one time. For real. I got taken advantage of by this girl named Brittany one time. Here's my story. And y'all see, people gonna think we're funny because it's the demeanor that I show when telling this story. But Brittany, I am your victim. Now, this is what happened. Look, I used to mess with her sister, Lindsay. These are two country girls from a town called Merkel, Texas. Their dad is actually the sheriff of the town over, Ty, Texas. So they country to the motherfucker. And I'm probably the only nigga that they ever let in until they got older. But there was a point that I was the only nigga that they hung out with, so I was running through their whole squad. But anyway, I was the only one. I went to that town. I had a little rap career and all that shit, so I would like ride around with this whole little group of friends from this little small town, and I was with them all. But anyway, I had Lindsay. Me and Lindsay had a little thing, a very inappropriate relationship with each other. We was on some freak shit to where Lindsay was just like my side piece. I don't want to be disrespectful, but yeah, like, but she was like known. That was established. Like, she had her own stuff going on maybe too, but like I was at the time engaged. I was trifling, I'll tell you, but I was engaged. I was young. I was 19, and I was about to have a baby, and I was just got engaged because that was the right thing to do religiously at the time. And so we had all of this going on. But I was in college. I was doing my thing. Lindsay was my country girl, freak lady, right? And so me and Lindsay did everything. And I mean, I've been with her best friend and her best friend's sister. With like Lindy, like I've been with 4 or 5 of them at once before, and there were like 2 of them or 3 of them were sisters. Like they were all country girls that got down like that, and just from bumfuck Egypt, right? Just country ass motherfuckers. But anyway, I mess with Lindsay, and so Lindsay has a big sister named Brittany, who hung out with my big brother, basically. And her big brother, their big brother, Derek, was my big brother's roommate. And so when my marriage was started falling through, and I was only 20, so, but when my marriage was starting to fall through, and I had got evicted from my house, I had went to go live with my brother. And my brother, he had his own company, he still does, a rain gutter company. He's very successful. He owns. He also has a meat processing plant, or they process wild game, of course, from everybody that hunts. And he also has an energy drink, his own energy drink, right? What's up, Ray Love? How you doing, fam? But anyway, he has his own energy drink. But anyway, I went to go stay with my brother. My wife had left me. I got evicted out of my apartment. I was still going to school, so I went to go stay with my brother. He's like, as long as you still go to school, you can come live with me, you know. But he has roommates, right? He has 2 roommates, Brad and Derek. They're white guys or whatever. But my brother, he at the time, he was just starting his rain gutter company. He was doing okay, but that's what he did all the time. He's like, on your off days when you're not in school, you can come work for me. That's perfectly fine. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother Wayne. But I would go with Wayne. And anyway, when I went to go live with Wayne, he'd have parties every fucking day. Like he's like he's only a year older than me, so he did, like, they would have parties every day. He would get off work, and they would be all his friends, all in his country ass friends, they start coming over. A whole bunch of women start coming over. They start drinking beer. They start getting high. There's a get together every single day at my brother's house, and that was fine at that time. When you're that age, that was the most awesome thing in the fucking world. But anyway, on one of those drunk nights, Derek's out of town, and Brittany, their older sister, is there, and like the whole parties went out. I've had this fucked up experience. This girl had just threw up on my crotch. Right? That's a whole different story. This girl just threw up all on my dick or whatever. I'm sorry to talk like that, but just threw up all on my crotch. Drunk. We were drunk. And I was pissed. And so I'm in the kitchen, like, smoking a blunt. Everybody's asleep. It's like 3 or 4 in the morning. And Brittany was like, hey, come smoke that with me. Come smoke that with me. And so it's more or less like, we go lay, and there's her bed, or Jarek's bed is really where she's sleeping, is this big ass beanbag. And so I go lay on it. I'm smoking, and as I'm laying on it and smoking, Brittany just kind of like rolls over on top of me, just like boom. And she's heavy. And so, she, for real though, she rolls over on top of me like boom, and I'm like, man, like, and I wasn't even feeling it. I was like, come on, Brittany, chill. And plus, I'm in her brother's room. I don't want her brother to come. I don't want my brother to come. I don't want nobody to know. I messed with her sister already. Like, I'm like, all right, Brittany, get up. And she's like, nah. She's like, I already know about you and my sister. She's like, what's up? And I'm like, Brittany, get up. And she's like, no. And it's like, she's like, as she's doing that, she's reaching down and rubbing me. And of course, like, biologically, I responded. Mentally, spiritually, I didn't. But biologically, because of you doing what you were doing, the flesh responded. And the next thing you know, it's just like, it's in there. She's on top of me still, never moved. Like, she done adjusted everything. It's in there. And next thing you know, it's just like, that happened. And I'm just like, man, like, that was rape. Like, for real. Like, I had to, like, what the fuck? And I mean, there's worse stories, but yeah, it's like, what the fuck? took advantage of my biological response, and I wasn't into it. I wasn't with it. I didn't ask for it. I said no. I said stop. And as funny as it can seem, that is true. That shit happens. Women be raping men. Women rape men. It happens. Brittany Holden, yeah, I said your name. You did it. And she got away with it because her dad is the fucking sheriff. Yeah. But yeah, that shit is for real though. It happens. No, I enjoyed it. That is very real. That's the problem. But that's the, as a dude, that's the problem. Like, but it doesn't make it right. Doesn't make it right if we're being honest. Yeah, it happened. I skied it and everything, like, but I didn't want to do it. I said no. I said stop. I said, but you took advantage of my biological response. Nelson, don't come in here. How did you find us, Nelson? She didn't groom me. It happened that one time, never spoke of it again. She never... It was just like... Yeah, she pinned me. She pinned me. Yeah, has that ever happened to y'all? Is that something that's common, the last two up after a night of partying? Has that happened? It's happened in other instances too. It's like everybody's been partying. It's like y'all are the last two up, and it's like, all right, you know what I'm saying? We finna just sneak it. It's like a sneak fuck, and I didn't want to do that. I didn't, like I said, but it happened. This is my story. Look, Tina Cleverly's like, yeah, it happened. That's why you ass don't need to be partying, Tina. You stayed up on purpose. You trying to see. There's the lady, the organic, or it's the one, the motherfucker that stays up, the Venus, them Scorpio placements that are trying to stay up till everybody goes to sleep so they can sneak and fuck, trying to catch one lurching. So you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and just tag me to one to the wall tonight. Funky ass Scorpios. So yeah. It's always your friend's big brother or sister. Yeah, it'd be that type of shit. Oh, it's happened. But I've also just met some bold motherfuckers. Now this was out of control. Since we're talking about these experiences, like I had this, and I heard about her before I knew about it. Like, hey, they're like, hey, this girl named, when I worked at this bar in East Texas, like, this girl named Jessica wants y'all to go play. They want y'all to go play cards or dominoes at her house. And I'm like, Jessica? They're like, yeah. They're like, hey, bro. The dude tried to tell me, right? He's like, I'm telling you, she just wants to, I'm like, well, who else going over there? It's like, just you and Jacoby. She's like, man, he's like, I'm trying to tell y'all, she just wants y'all niggas to go over there because she a freak. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, bro, I'm just letting you know, you think you going to play dominoes, it's your first time here, I'm letting you know you going into some freak shit. And I'm like, some freak shit? He's like, yeah, Jessica's a beast, bro. And I'm like, a beast? Like, what? He's like, yeah. He's like, I ain't going to take your ass over there if you want to. And I was like, I want to. And so we went over there. We played dominoes. After about 20 minutes of playing dominoes, it's me, my boy Jacoby, Jessica, and this other girl named Britta or something like that. Brittany or Britta or something like that, right? So we playing dominoes. Boom, boom, boom. Jacoby and Jessica just disappeared. Britta's over there. Just as soon as they disappear, she's like, "Oh yeah, they smashing." She's like, they smashing. And I'm thinking, okay, so does this mean me and you know what I'm saying? We finna. And she laughing. She's like, she laughed. She's like, "No, I gotta go." She said, she looked at me like I didn't even say it out loud, but she just looked at me. She's like, "No, I gotta go." And I was like, "All right." And so as she's leaving, Jacoby comes out and he leaves. And so I'm getting ready to go, and Jessica sits down and she's like, "No," let's play one more game. And I'm like, "All right." So I sit down. I'm like, "I'll play one more game." And after playing about another game and a half, I'm looking at her, looking at me. I'm like, I know she ain't looking at me the way I think she looking at me. I know she ain't look. I know this ain't what I think. And sure enough, it was. And she just had one. She was an Aries, and she had one of them appetites. She was just like, "All right." She's like, "I'm just gonna go take a shower. When I come back out," she said these specific words. Yeah, she said, "I'm just gonna go take a shower." She said, "When I come back out, I want you in my bed. I'm just gonna be honest and let you know I want you in my bed. If you're not here, I won't be mad at you, but I want you in my bed." And then, sure enough, nigga, I was in the bed. I went and got in the bed. I was gonna feel something. But yeah, it went down like that. And it's like, they're like, when I got to work, I was like, the next day, I was like, "What?" They were like, "What'd y'all do last night?" I was like, "I went over there and played dominoes at Jessica's house." And they were like, everybody looks like, "What?" I was like, they're like, "People don't just go play dominoes at Jessica's house, not black dudes." And I was like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, ain't no niggas going over there playing dominoes at Jessica Beasley's house." That's not her real name, but I was just, you know what I'm saying? I'm being messy. And I love it. But, but yeah, that shit happened. Any more questions about astrology or numerology? These sessions have been a trip lately. I'm ready for these retrogrades to be over. This shit done got out of control. But yeah. I seen her before though. I seen her after that again a couple times. She's now changed her life. She met a, what's that nigga's name? I'm trying to think of his name. I think we just call him Ani. But yeah, or Arnie. It's either Ani or Arnie. Maybe his name is Arnold. I don't know. But she got her big black bubba nigga. About 6. And I like him because one time some dudes had jumped me when I was bouncing at the bar. A dude that snuck me, and they had jumped me because I was bouncing, and they were tired of me being a terrorist. Or a tyrant, not even a terrorist, a tyrant. And so they came and they jumped me when I was bouncing, but he came and helped me one time. But anyway, yeah, she she ended up getting married to Big Arnie. So, or they're engaged right now, Big Arnie. So she got her the ultimate. She got her a big John Henry ass nigga. This nigga probably about 6'3", 300. I'm talking about a big John Henry. Said put her social up. No, we ain't doing that to her. She's a good girl. She changed her life. But it is Mercury retrograde. We might, for the next few days, we want to send them demons calling. We send a couple niggas over there. We send Tigger Pollard over there. Send a dreadhead over to your house, girl. Because she ain't that faithful. Because she was engaged to Arnie a few years ago. It wasn't a few years. They've been engaged for like 7 or 8 years. But they were maybe they had just started to talk. But they were still engaged. And a nigga went over there and tested that shit one time. Man, I went over there and tested it one more time. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure that I still could. I used to have that bad. When I was in my toxic behaviors. Yeah, when I was in my toxic behaviors, me being a Cancer, this is the horrible side of Cancers. Is like if we used to go together, and a Venus and Leo too. Like if we used to go together, like I don't really want to see you happy. I've changed now. Spiritually, I'm a different person. But there was a point in time, like we used to go together. I don't want to see you happy. I'm just gonna come back on your ass. I'm come with all my lies and good dick and everything that I come with. With all that good dick and lies and triflingness and incarceration and drug addiction. I'm just gonna show up with that and fuck your current relationship up. Just reach out and remind you how much I love you and how much potential we had and how sweet I was and how I understood you in no way. No, he'll never understand you like me. I used to do that shit. And I just fuck it up. No, I told you I've had some crazy stuff happen. We're here telling stories. We're vibing. Like, I've had some crazy stuff happen. I told you I was involved with this nymphomaniac that was my next door neighbor, and her husband found out. Another time, I was talking to these two friends, and one friend started liking me, but I liked the other friend, so I manipulated my friend into liking the other friend that liked me in the first place, so I could go with the other friend. And you know what I'm saying? I played a little quick whoop-de-whoop, what. But then I found out that one friend's husband was fucking the other friend. And I was just like, dang. And so then I used the fact that I knew, because the other friend that liked me in the first place, her husband was fucking the girl that I was fucking. And so when I found that out, I used that information to blackmail this girl for a couple of months. Like, bitch, I will tell her that you been like you don't play with me. Like, you need to tell before I tell Brittany you been fucking her husband. Shit, don't try to act like you a good girl to me. Finna be in a whole bunch of shit. Try to act like. Don't try to act like you just some you just some motherfucking prize. You over here fucking your friend, man. So your ass be out of there. Arrivederci. But yeah, I was that type. Like, I was fucked up when I was younger. Thank God for change and growth, right? I love that. Thank God for change and growth. It's a testimony to the real. Thank you. Astrology has helped me with that. Numerology and understanding myself and what those type of elements of myself that make me like that. But yeah. I'll upstage you, nigga, just like that. Like, bitch, I'll upstage you, nigga. I'll upstage you, nigga. Look at Tina. Tina be glazing for real. Tina, go look at that motherfucker telling me ain't shit compared to me. Tina be out riding for me for real. Hey, do y'all have any more questions, or we gonna sit here and bullshit the whole time? But yeah, I got into some messy shit a lot of times because of me. Because the way I was. It's just the way I was. And it wasn't even that. Like, I just was trifling. I already got you, Taurus, with the Gemini moon. I already answered that, Norton. Norton! We've already answered that. How many times do you want to hear about it? You're either really crazy or you're really smooth. Sneaky. You was in the bathroom. Nick Dalton. Nichelle, what's up? You said, let you ask again. What does a stellium in Scorpio in the 7th house, what does that mean? Trust issues? Craziness and trust issues? Means it's a goddamn psycho. You are crazy and you make people crazy. But you've developed these deep bonds. You have extreme feelings towards people. It's like you love and hate. Sometimes you love and hate the same person at the same time. With all of those Scorpio stellium in the 7th house, you just have really intense feelings towards people. They hit you deep. But sometimes when you're involved in your relationships, they stir up trauma, old trauma. Sometimes they create new trauma. It means you have really intense relationships with people when you have a Scorpio stellium in the 7th house. And relationships bring out the most intense part of you. They stir up that craziness in you. They bring up the trauma. And so it's kind of hard sometimes. Attuned to Ken, you said, what the fuck is life like with having Saturn opposite Pluto natally? Powerful and challenging at the same time, and you know, challenging because it's so intense and powerful, but also so intense and powerful because it's been so challenging. You know, life has its ups and downs. You go through a lot of stuff. You just got to get past that fear, and you realize how powerful you are. And it takes time for you to get through the trauma and the fear, and you know, to break away from all the residues of the experiences that conditioned you to be a certain way until you start really experiencing some change. And for you, it just takes time and maturity for you to change. And when you do, like, you blossom into something completely different. Michelle, you said, can you fix it? There's nothing that need to be fixed. You're just a little crazy. Some people like that shit. You one of the ones like, you know, I like to get a little crazy. Oh, you always been like that. You know that. Like, you be good until you get involved. As soon as your feelings get involved, you stop trusting and you start tripping. Like, I know you. I know you. I'm not gonna shut up. That's what you do. You get involved. You start, and it's all good. Like, you can be friends with anybody. You're such a cool person. You're so chill, and you be trying to tell people how chill you are. Like, I'm chill. Watkins Cat House will do that type of shit too. I'm really a chill person. Watkins Cat and motherfucking Tiara. I hope you here watching too. Tiara does it too. I'm such a chill person, y'all. But y'all are chill until you get in your feelings. And as soon as you get in your feelings, then you crazier than a motherfucker. You stop trusting. You start tripping. Like, that's what happens. For real. You get crazy. Y'all crazy. You don't even have to do. Yours is worse because you got that stellium. But Watkins Cat House does that shit. Tiara does that shit. Like, oh, I'm really a chill person. Y'all chill, yeah, to your friends and to us. But when you, to your partners and the people you're involved with in relationships, you ain't fucking chill. It's fucking intense. Pluto conjunct Mercury and Sagittarius in the 12th house. You said, why am I smiling? Because I like that shit. But I'm different, though. I'm not right. I like crazy. But I'm crazy a little bit. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to make you crazy. What I want to do is make you a little crazy so we can be crazy. But I'm crazy, so that's what I want to do is make you a little insane. I'm trying to put that thing on them, make them insane like I do my baby. And now I'm in her brain, and once I'm in her brain, she can't stand me, but I'm a stain. I ain't going nowhere. What's up, lady like me, at least shining? Let me answer everybody's question, though. How you doing? Anyway, Pluto conjunct Mercury in Sagittarius in the 12th house. You know a lot, like you pick up a lot from experiences, but I'll say that, like, you have this wellspring of knowledge and experience and trauma and pain and love and intuition. You have all of this stuff inside of you, and it's like a vacuum that, it attracts crazy people to you and crazy situations, and you have all of these crazy experiences, and it's like you're always feel dissatisfied with life because you feel like there's something else coming. There's more you need to know. There's more you need to learn. There's more you need to experience. It's like you have this unsatiable hunger for experience. But the truth is, that lives inside of you. You're looking for something that's always going to be inside of you. And so you have to learn how to find fulfillment from within and not look for it in external experiences. But you're going to go through so many crazy experiences because you're always searching. And it's like you're subconsciously doing. You're subconsciously searching for something better or for something more. But really, that what you're looking for, that you're seeking, is inside of you. And you can only settle that inside of you. Attuned to Ken, you said Saturn in the 1st house, Pluto in the 7th house opposition. That's one of those interesting ones because you're hard on yourself. You're a very responsible person. You're very mature in your approach to things. You take things seriously, so you project a certain energy into your relationships. Sometimes you make them very intense and serious because you're so serious. And so when you see Saturn and Pluto, it takes time for you to change the way that you are and to loosen up, so that you can actually be vulnerable within your relationships, and then you can start to having easier relationships instead of you having relationships that are so formal and everything feeling like it's so like powerful and intense, and like you can have great strong relationships without everything having to be of consequence. And so stop making everything so consequential, and really look at your relationships from the perspective of, as time goes on, you chill the fuck out. Yeah, you've had to be really responsible. You're trying too hard. Basically, you stop trying. Stop fucking trying and change you. Stop trying to change the relationships or change the person within the relationship and change all of this with that Pluto in the 7th house. Just change you. Your relationships, when you have Pluto in the 7th house, your relationships are really a cauldron that are really showing you and bringing up stuff from the bottom of that cauldron that are reflecting traits of yourself you need to work on. And it's like every relationship you have, it changes something in you. Every crazy relationship you've had, as intense and as abusive and as toxic as it's been, it's taught you something about you more than it's taught you about that relationship. And you've changed from those relationships. So for you having Pluto in the 7th house, those relationships change you. And the intensity of those relationships is going to be something that's always going to bring about a very karmic effect on your life. I know this because my lady has Pluto in the 7th house in Scorpio. And so all of her relationships have been really intense and really crazy and really toxic, and even ours, we've been through our ups and downs, but this has been very intense, and it is extremely karmic. And so with that Saturn on the other end of that, it's just like you learning how to calm the fuck down and chill the fuck out will really help your relationships. So yeah. Like, yeah, you don't have to take care of everyone. Exactly. Take care of you. Loosen up. You feel so responsible for everything. Like, what does that help? Oh, I know. Look at Nelson Omar Segura Martinez. Hey, you are free to be gay as you want to be. We love everybody. We don't give a fuck about your sexuality. We give a fuck about spirituality. So you can be as gay as you want to be, fam. We don't give a fuck. That's the first thing you need to understand. But I ain't your baby. Why you being gay? You keep yourself over there because I ain't your baby. I love you. But that don't mean that I, you know what I'm saying, I love you. You know what I'm saying? You can't take it out of context, baby. Ray Massey. Man, what's up, Ray? You said your Saturn is Capricorn at 1 degrees. What does that inquire? What house is it in? I would say more than anything else, when I see Saturn in Capricorn, I just know you're an ambitious person. Ooh, in the 7th house. That's actually the best place for Saturn that you could ever have. First of all, understand Saturn is going to be in an exaltation mode in the 7th house because Saturn is exalted in Libra. So Saturn is going to do extremely well in the 7th house. It's probably going to be the best place for Saturn to be other than the 10th house, but you still have that effect because Saturn is in Capricorn in its home sign. So it's in domicile and it's in the 7th house where it tends to do extremely well. And so this really reflects your relationships with people. It lets you know that you want to be mature enough to have a mature relationship, that you take your time with people because you really do care. And some people might take it to think you don't care, but you really do care. But you care enough to want to do things the right way. So you have a very strong emphasis on developing relationships over time and doing things the right way. And that's something that's going to really help you when you're dealing with people in business. You know how to separate business and pleasure. You know how to really use your relationships to help build towards a cohesive business goal, or you know how to interact with the person in a way that lets them know you're serious about them. And so you have a very distinct advantage when it comes to your relationships, but it also lets me know that you're a mature person and you take your interactions with people seriously and you take your responsibilities seriously and you're a man of your word. And so when you're a man of your word like this, it makes it easy for somebody to want to be in a committed relationship with you and to want to get to know you and interact with you and be a part of everything that you have going on. So yeah, I hope that answers that. Saturn in the 7th is hard, but it's good. It's worth it. You learn what's worth it. Saturn, that's what you have to understand is with Saturn in the 7th house, it's not as hard as Saturn in the 1st house. It's not as hard as Saturn in the 2nd house. Saturn in the 7th house is probably the easiest place for Saturn to be, but it's still hard. But it being hard is a helpful thing because you learn to value the relationships that you've built with people. This is something that's taken time and it's grown and it's cultured and it's something that's developed and it's solid and it's really beautiful, especially in Capricorn. You said in Synastry, what does it mean if your girl Saturn and Moon are in your 7th? That would mean that would be good for y'all's relationship, especially for the long-term effects of y'all's relationship. You know, if her Saturn is in your 7th house, I think that over time that this is something that grows on you and it develops. It's not something that's going to always be easy, but it's something that you're learning with and you're growing with, and that's something that can be grateful that you can be grateful for. And then in the Moon in the 7th house, that means that there's a certain comfortability in y'all relating to each other. But yeah. Yeah, Saturn and especially in Capricorn, Saturn in the 7th house, people don't fuck with everybody. They stick to themselves, but it's because they take their interactions with people seriously, and everybody's not real like them. And so that's something that can be isolated in your life, realizing that not very many people are real like you. They don't take their word as seriously as you do. They're not the type of person. So it is hard, but eventually over time, you do build bonds with those type of people. And it might be isolating for a while, but over time, you really have people that are in your corner that were solid. And you have shown that you're solid when you're in somebody's corner. And you have relationships and marriages that are very favorable because it's something that matures over time, and it's something that you yourself are mature enough to understand and accept. And so it is very, very good in its own way. You know, you still have to understand you're dealing with Saturn. When we're talking about these placements, Saturn is not going to be easy in any way. It's Saturn, it's hardship in its expression. So when you look at Saturn, there's never going to be where it's just like this bubbly, beautiful thing. It's still something that, you know, for Saturn, it's something that is cultured and it grows. Yeah, it can be emotional struggles, but I would say it's more or less like you take your feelings very seriously. You take your interactions with people very seriously. Some people are, it depends on the sign. Some people are not going to be struggling emotionally, you know, and some people are not where they don't feel comfortable with other people. It's just they don't feel, you know, when you have Saturn sitting there in that seventh house, it's more or less like they might not feel comfortable with themselves, and so they maybe they can make other people uncomfortable also. So there's several sides to that. Thank you for uh, that input, though. Oh my God. Oh, I didn't see the Cancer part. I forgot that it was Cancer. That makes sense. That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. I can dig that. So Mercury, retrograde, Sagittarius, 7 degrees. Mercury's almost done being retrograde. We're almost finished with this. Mercury will station direct on Sunday. And then it'll go through that about 2 weeks, about 10 days in my opinion. But almost 2 weeks of that post-retrograde shadow phase. And then Mercury will start doing what Mercury does. And so we've been through Mercury retrogrades before. We've gotten through this one pretty much. And so it's been interesting. I would say this has been one of the lighter Mercury retrogrades, and I'm grateful for that. It hasn't been as bad as some have been. But I also think you have to understand that you're dealing with a weakened Mercury. Mercury is in detriment in Sagittarius. So this retrograde, it's not going to have the same effect as if it was in Gemini or as if it was in Aquarius or Virgo. And so with this right here, we can be grateful that it showed up in Sagittarius. And so there's been some bluntness, and there's been some vulgarity, and there's been some clumsiness, and there's been some people who've made some clerical errors. But ultimately, this has been one of the least volatile of Mercury retrogrades that we've had in a while. And so we can be grateful for that. But maybe it's setting us up because Mars retrograde is about to be a motherfucker for this time. And you also have to understand Venus is going to station retrograde at some point in March, I believe. And then when Venus stations retrograde, it's going to be in Aries at first, and then it'll retrograde back into Pisces. And so that's going to be interesting in its own right. Now, Watkins Cat House, you said Synastry, Lilith conjunct rising, and Moon in the 8th house. Well, Lilith conjunct rising can mean a couple of things. I usually don't work with I look at minor things when I'm dealing with Lilith and Synastry, but I don't really make that a focal point. But Lilith on the ascendant, it can mean that there is an attraction there, or it can mean that there's a repulsion, like there isn't there could be where there isn't a physical attraction there. It could be one or the other. You know, it just depends on what's really going on as far as aspects and everything else. Now, with Lilith in the 8th house, or the moon, pardon me, the moon in the 8th house, that's like sexual chemistry in a way. It's intense feelings between each other, but it also is a thing where it's like there is some stuff that can come up that's what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know the word I'm looking for, but it's not intense. I mean, it's all intense, but it's just like it brings stuff up. But there also is just like this unspoken connection. There's this sexual connection. There's this intensity. There's this thing. But you know, with that moon in the 8th house, there's maybe even secrets. But there's also a certain level of toxicity with moon in the 8th house that has to be taken note of. So yeah, the Lilith person can, or the Black Moon Lilith can make the person's first house feel unattractive. All right, Tina, be careful. Yeah, we vibing. What does it mean if your partner's Jupiter is in your 5th house? It means y'all are fertile together, y'all are creative, and y'all have fun. Big fun. There's a certain joy that's brought between y'all with that placement right there. Synastry. I wouldn't know about soulmate. I don't think it's soulmate energy. I think that's just, it's a connection. It's fun. It's sexy. It's attention. It's everything that they need from each other. Appreciation. Really great aspect to have. But I wouldn't say soulmate. There's a lot more to it than soulmate when it comes to soulmates. Michelle said her granddaughter was born on 12/10/2024, by the way. Hey, Michelle got a granddaughter. Hey, I need some of y'all to hit that CashApp while we're here, since y'all fuck with me. Somebody pin the CashApp so I can pin it in the chat. We've gotten our advertisement out the way. Y'all go check out thefreshandfitted.com and get fresh and fitted like me. Yeah. Highly underrated clothing company. Fresh. Yeah. Biatch. Much love to the UK. LM63. Much love to you from me. Do we have any more questions? Come on with the questions, man. Come on with the questions, man. With the questions, yeah. You said, how has this current Pluto transit affected me so far? It's affected me because it's affected me in the way that I communicate with people. See, Pluto has been exactly opposite my Mercury for going on a year or so now. So as soon as it got to 0 degrees of Aquarius, my Mercury is at 0 degrees of Leo. And so the way that I talk to people, what I entertain online, the bravado that I project, the ego that I express myself with, I've really had to humble myself and learn how to not entertain things that are not going to be helpful for me. I've had to learn to stop being so selfish. I've had to learn to be more diplomatic. I've had to learn to work with others. And it's been helpful. Me being a part of STAR has been everything for me as I've been going through this process, because it's really helped me be more inclusive with people. It's really helped me be a part of a community. And so for me, I've just learned a lot as far as being so fucking egotistical about everything. Y'all weird in a bitch. But yeah, that's where we're at with that. Oh my God, that stretch feels so good, y'all. Yes, I'm high right now. But my vibration is too. But maybe you wouldn't understand it. The election is over, bro. There's not even anything necessary for that. Go Trump. That's not even necessary. Like, so many of y'all are morons. It's not a fucking race car or a fucking athlete. That shit is over. Watkins Cathouse, you said it's on your son. You're happier, less stress. You take less BS. Your divorce has finalized. Yes, that means you've noticed a difference in yourself as well. I'm glad. I'm so happy. You know, you're my family. I love you. You need to get this birthday reading. Like right now, I need some money. It's Christmas time. I need to make some Christmas money for real. Y'all fucking with me. Y'all need to come get some of these readings before I get mad. And when we get done today, I will be back on Friday. We got about 30 minutes left, but I will be back on Friday. I keep the streams at like 3 hours because once I sit here longer than that, I start getting frustrated. Especially if I'm not getting the financial response that I want. I'm still a Mars in Capricorn. I still have a family. I love y'all. I enjoy sharing my gift. But I still got to do what's right sometimes. And that means find something productive to do or go chill, then save my energy. But yeah. What's up, Booker Dooley? How you doing? I appreciate it. You Saletta, you said, what the fuck? You Slimetto said, can I get up and whip out their fat BBC? Because you know I'm packing. I am packing. But no, I would never do that. But I do really appreciate you telling the truth. I would never deny that or try to silence you. Look at feelings. Nichelle, you said, are moon signs and ascendants compatible? Yes, there's different placements that could be compatible in different ways. They're going to make aspects to each other, so they can be compatible, absolutely. Yeah, I'm swinging. We got 30 minutes. Let's make them count. It's a fire. I forgot what that's called. I think that's called lemonade delight. But it's some dank for real. I got that and I got some Kush mints. That's sad. Y'all need Jesus, Phyllis. Watkins Cat House. You need Jesus. You just want to see dick, and that's what's wrong with you. You need to get your lives together. Stop thinking about penis, and that's all. Because that also is like Capricorn placements. Like Capricorn placements, like for some reason. You think get yourselves together. I'm not gonna excuse myself, Phyllis. We know. We know. Get the dick off your brains. Come back so I can give you this knowledge. No, Walking Cat House has been a certified freak for years. We already know. Some of y'all don't know that. I ain't just gonna put all her business out there, but yeah, she's been a certified freak for years, and she's newly divorced. She's trying to. But she also is she's very strict about her principles. She don't fuck with everybody. She don't play around. Let me say that. While we trying to put her on, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the dating game for Watkins Cat House here soon. She gonna get mad at me. Don't be playing with me on the fucking stream. But look, hey, Tony, I'm just playing. But for real though, we'll do a dating game on you. We'll have all these niggas in here lined up. We'll have you right, Tony. We for real. We'll have them lined up, newly divorced. You understand? No rules will be enforced. She may don't be putting me on. I ain't gonna blast like that. No, we putting you on blast. I am that Mandingo. I don't want you to get it twisted, Phyllis. I am. I really am. Don't let this light skin fool you. You understand? And it ain't pink. I hate that goofy laugh. I hate when they make me laugh like that, for real. I hate that goofy laugh. I'll be smooth until that fucking laugh comes. Like, bro, like.
This is crazy.
I'll be good until I let that rewind. See? I'll be good until I let that smooth one out. I ain't smoking no more today. I just need faith. Are there any more transits this week? There's lots of transits. It's hump day. I'm just keeping it vibing. We're going to talk about the transits on Friday for real, and then we'll do a top 5. But as for today, yeah, there's stuff going on. Mercury sextile to Venus is trying to Mars, trying to the North Node. Oh yeah, there's lots of stuff going on. Venus is opposite to Mars. There's stuff happening today, right now. But what is it hitting in your chart? What do you have that's aspected by 7 degrees of Sagittarius? What do you have that's aspected by 5 degrees of Aquarius? What do you have that's aspected by 6 degrees of Leo? What do you have that's aspected by 15 degrees of Gemini, by 13 degrees of Pisces, by 24 degrees of Taurus, by 27 degrees of Pisces, by 0 degrees of Aquarius, by 19 degrees of Aries, by 18 degrees of Libra, or by 3 degrees of Aries or Libra? What do you have being aspected by those things right there? Then we'll talk about it, because those are what's important. Is how is this aspecting and affecting you personally? You just need faith. Yeah, I'll be on point like your index finger. Touch it right there. Let's see. Fun home. Anthony said, what does it mean if your girl's Chiron is in your second house? She might heal your financial situation. Or she might help you feel more, help develop your sense of self-worth. Yeah. Y'all let me borrow something. Y'all come get one of these readings. I need to borrow some. I need about, yeah, I need to borrow something. I'm playing, but I'm serious. I'm playing unless you're gonna really let me have something, and then I'm serious. I can't pop my back like I want to because that hernia will pop out like. Silent now. Any more questions? We got 23 more minutes. Oh, that's good. That shit right there is good. That eucalyptus, man. That slippery elm. That honey. And it's got a little bit of lemon too. Like, that should get your throat right. I can feel a little cold coming on. My fucking son been walking around here coughing everywhere. I've been trying to tell him, get out of here coughing everywhere. He just running around playing and laughing and coughing and shit. Get your little coughing, sickness, spreading ass out of here. That's why I can't stand kids. I just been going off. You see how I've been going on them rants lately? Like, I don't know what happened to me lately. Like, I'll be good and then I'll just go into this fucking rant. Like, what the fuck? Like, I love my babies, but like, god damn, like, why y'all running around here coughing and shit? Knowing if I start coughing, my fucking hernia gonna be popping down and shit. Like, come on, man. Nigga can't be coughing around here. I try to tell him all the time. Like, I'm trying not to be mean, but I cannot get a cough. I have a fucking hernia. I cannot get a fucking cough. I cannot be fucking coughing. Shit, that's the last thing I fucking need. These kids don't respect shit. Coughing all on the doorknobs. Last night, he in there just chilling, and I heard him say, we're gonna make street tacos for dinner. And then my lady's in there cooking the street tacos. I hear he's like, I'm gonna go help cook the tacos. Like, no, the fuck you're not fixing to go help cook the tacos. Like, get your fucking sick ass away from the fucking food. Like, like for real, bro. Like, I'm gonna help cook the tacos. Like, no, the fuck you're not. Go sit your little ass down somewhere. They had a snow day yesterday. They had a snow day yesterday. It snowed. We got snowed in. My oldest son, he said, "Fuck that, I'm going to school anyway." What happened was there was a 2-hour delay, but I don't really drive. The bus didn't come, and so my 2 younger ones stayed, and then my oldest son was like, "Hey, I'm going to school anyway." And fuck that 2-hour delay, I'm staying home. But the smaller one stayed. So let me be clear, it was a 2-hour delay because of the snow. We hardly ever get snowed in. It happens like once a year, but it's when there's like 2 feet of snow or 3 feet of snow when there's blizzard conditions, and it happens every year. But we got like 7 or 8 inches of snow. It was pretty deep. But anyway, school got delayed for 2 hours, right? And my oldest son's like, I'm going to school. He came like, I'm going to school. And I was like, okay, I'm proud of you. I love him. You know, that's a great initiative. He's like that. He's that type of kid. He's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like back in the old days. I hate to, I hate to fucking glaze, but let's be honest. You know how back in the old days you have your they talk about it like the eldest son, like this is the eldest son and he's the good son. He does what he's supposed to do. Like Prince Harry and Prince William. Like Prince William does what he's supposed to do. You've only heard about him, you know, doing what he's supposed to do. Is like Harry done went got him Meghan Markle, and she done wanted to get discommunicated. And he dipping and dabbling in that biracial, and he doing what he need to do, and that's a beautiful thing. But his family was judgmental of that. They weren't very accepting of that and all the other things. But anyway, my oldest son is just one of those kids. Like, he never gets in trouble. He works hard for school. He plays sports. He's like one of those kids. Like, damn, you're a good fucking kid. Like, he's one of them old school old elders. Like, man, you're the elder. He's a Leo sun, Gemini moon. Like, you're the elder. Oh, Prince Harry is a mess. He's a Virgo. But yeah, he's like, but yeah. But then them two little ones, they're air signs. He's a Leo sun, Gemini moon, Virgo rising, right? It's the two little ones. Well, they're not little because his other brother, he's 14. So the middle one and the baby one, they're air signs. A Libra sun, Gemini moon with Capricorn rising, and a Pisces rising with Aquarius sun and Virgo moon. And them little motherfuckers be lying and not listening and just fucking arguing all the time and not doing their chores. Like, I wouldn't wish air sign kids on nobody. Like, people think fire sign kids are bad, but them little air sign kids is just little arguing ass little, man. My two oldest are fire signs. Then I have a Capricorn too, but my daughter. But my oldest daughter is a Sagittarius. My oldest son is a Leo. Then my other daughter is a Capricorn, and then I have them. You know what I'm saying? The two little ones. But yeah. Them fire signs. Now the Sagittarius daughter, thank God you get that out of the way first. Like, I thank God I got that out of the way first. But the Sagittarius daughter, that shit was hard for them teenage years. Like, damn, you bad. Like you a Sagittarius. Like, she just fucking, she was good, but she was bad too. Like, she was good, she had principles, but like, she was bad. Like, she was into some shit all the time. And like, she would get into fights, and she did sports, and she did, like, she was very spiritual once she got to a certain point. But she also was getting high. She also was sneaking boys in her room. And my oldest son, he hates that shit. He tell on his sister all the time. I'll never forget. That's how good he is. When I say he's the eldest son, like when you say this is my eldest son, he'd be there. I just think you should know. That's how he used to talk. He'd be 10 years old. He'd come there and say, I just think you should know. Vea has some boys outside her room. She thinks I wasn't gonna tell it. Shoot, he doesn't talk like that anymore. He's very quiet now, but that's how he used to talk. He said, he has a very deep voice, like me kind of. But he's like, she thinks I wasn't gonna tell it. Shoot, shit. It's boys outside of Vea's room right now. And then I gotta go over there and run the boys off. He said, tell the truth, Vea. Tell the truth, Vea. He told on his sister every day. I know she used to be mad. And he's like 5 years younger than her. No, he's 7 years younger than her. She's 22. He's 15. But yeah, when she was a teenager, like when she was 17, 16, he'd come in. Vea. Shoot. And he used to come tell. He just won't tell on his brother, but he'll go tell on his sister real fast, like, especially if it has something to do with boys. But yeah, it's like, I remember one time she asked me, can I go to a party? I was like, nah, you ain't going to no party. That was about 9:30. About 12:30, I'm going to the bathroom, and I'm like, I opened up her door because I heard her TV on, and when I opened up her door, I look, she's gone. My daughter's fucking gone. I knew she took off to that fucking party anyway. And so I had to be that dad. I had to call her and finally send a message. She better As soon as I find out where you're at, it's over with. She's like, okay, I'll tell you where I'm at. Just come get me. I'll come outside. Don't come in. Look, hey, myself said I'm the whole reason that they don't like a whole light-skinned people. What the fuck? Sorry, I just got a group chat from my lady, from my wife, from my kids. So I have a big surprise for y'all when I get home. Capricorn says that. Hopefully she got some money. Something good's happened. But yeah, she snuck out. I showed up on her at the party. Said, "Get your motherfucking ass out here." But yeah, she just did stuff. These kids are a motherfucker. Hey, I love y'all. If any of y'all are interested in any astrological readings whatsoever, don't get at me in my comments. Get at me in my email, which is mr.turner1300@gmail.com. I'll be back on Friday. Starting next week or the next week after, I am going to start putting another day aside where we are going to specifically do numerology stuff. I'm going to teach y'all some about numerology. We're going to stay on numerology. And on another day of the week that I don't have readings, we'll come in and we'll do a session that has a specific vibe. And I'm going to start dropping videos in between here. We got to get back more. I mean, I'm coming consistently, but I need to get more creative in this. We will do that. So we will have a whole numerology session where I'm just teaching for the whole session once a week, starting either next week or the week after that. And then we'll also start putting out members-only content for the Tribal Council, and we'll start having more specifically biased things, and I'll start putting some more videos out here soon. I'll have to start writing. And so we definitely are going to, we're still consistent. We're already consistent. You know, I show up on the days I'm supposed to show up. But as soon as we get out of this Mercury retrograde and things get back to normal, per se, whatever normal is, we're going to really start catering our content specific to our audience. And so I love y'all. I appreciate everything. We'll be back. If you're interested in anything, get at me. I definitely need the business. It's Christmas. Keep it gangsta.